המקיפים בכל עבודת עליו. עבודת עליו זה הפירוש הכותל, גם אם יוזור לעם ישראל, ליהודים, עדיין אין כסף.
כמה שבועות, כמה שתיים שחושבים את עצמם חכמים גדולים. פתחתם חשבון עם כל יהודי ויהודי, אז נגד כולם פתחתם חזית. הדלקתם אש לא קטנה, לכבות אותה? אי אפשר. אם הם ימשיכו לעשות את זה, הם יעוררו תגובות שהם לא מדמיינים לעצמם. אין סוף לעונש של מי שמטעה, מי שמסית ומדיח. עונשו של כל אחד ואחד, כמו שאותו יימח שמו, אותו אחד מייסד הנצרות, אותו אחד מה שקורה איתו למעלה, עכשיו מאוד הגמרא בגיטין ומזל מאוד שם הגמרא, דנים אותו בצואה רותחת, חבילה של צואה, של פסולת שיוצא מהקיבה של בני אדם, וחתולים וכלבים ואריות ונמרים, רותחת, מבעבעת, שם שמים אותו, שם הוא נענש ככה כל רגע ורגע. זה ככה, את זה לא הבאתם, כל הכנסיות, כל הצלבים שלהם, הצלב הגדול הזה על הארו בברזיל, מתפוצץ לרסיסים, לכל העולם, וכולם יראו את זה. כולם יראו את זה. ולהוציא את השקר של כולם החוצה. את השקר של הנצרות הזאת החוצה. שבשם כביכול בורא עולם, בשם כביכול יש לו כתפיים רחבות, הוא לוקח את העוונות של כולם. של כולם, את העוונות של כולם הוא ייקח. שום דבר, כולכם תהיו נקיים, כולכם תבואו לשתף של גן עדן. איזה שטויות, כמה דפר בן אדם יכול להיות, כמה סתום בלום, כמה דביל ומפגר, אין מילים אחרות, בן אדם יכול להיות בשביל להאמין לשטות המפגרת הזאת.
הקדוש ברוך הוא is telling you, you have to make a choice. Either you're 100% with הקדוש ברוך הוא, or you're with the rest of the garbage of the world. Right now we have almost 8 billion people in the world. 99.999% of them are Reshaim Gmurim. Christians, almost 2.5 billion of them, all idolaters. What do you think? HaKadosh Baruch Hu thinks they're tzaddikim?
Well, the nations of the world, every person in the world has to keep the 7 Noahide laws. Every person in the world has to think why he was put in the world and explore the reason he's here and what, if there's a God, if there is a God, what does he expect from us?
להשליט בכל המקומות האלה של המשרות בני נוח, אבל להשליט זה לא במשפטים, אלא במלחמה. במלחמה צריכה להיות, לא דווקא נהרוג, להפך, אומר להם, אני קורא לכם לשנות, אז אם מרים את הדגל.
My videos are missions of mercy to the Christian world. You are not in a position to teach me, preach me, fix me, explain to me. Quite frankly, the overriding emotion that I feel for the Christian world is revulsion. I have to control my gag reflex in order to be able to make these videos, because in between the waves of revulsion, I feel some measure of compassion, and seeing what your very near future holds, I'm trying to help those of you who have some modicum of wits about you to understand that you have brought destruction upon yourself.
Last night I dreamt about how things were.
Of every enemy of the state!
And then I woke up here.
I know I was not the only one sitting here thinking that, these 7 Noahide laws, talking about taking your heads off, and then especially knowing that Freemasonry and Kabbalah go hand in hand. No, I wasn't the only one sitting here thinking like, hey, kind of reminds me of that Gray State clip,
where they got like the little apron on and they're sitting here cutting people's heads off and stuff. And now they're pushing for these 7 Noahide laws.
Chapter 16. These things have I spoken unto you, that ye should not be offended. They shall put you out of the synagogues. Yea, the time cometh, that whosoever killeth you will think that he doeth God service. And these things will they do unto you, because they have not known the Father, nor me. But these things have I told you, that when the time shall come, ye may remember that I told you of them. And these things I said not unto you at the beginning, because I was with you.
Last night I dreamt about how things were.
God is the end of every enemy of the state.
And then I woke up here.
We have to be very careful about how we interpret what we read, especially the Bible. And I'll tell you why. When I research these secret societies, and I research the Bible, and by the way, I'm a Christian, so if you're a Christian, don't think I'm knocking your religion. I'm not. I'm just telling you what I found. I have found that at the very heart and core of all these secret societies lurks the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah is the ancient Jewish mysticism.
Still was not nullified, because when all is said and done, a Jew remains God in a body. And so without loving you at the highest level and wanting the very best for you and intending the very best for you, they brought you into existence, but not at the highest level. And this is what we're trying to change now. We want to create you such that you can fulfill your deepest vision of what you want to be and what you want your world to be like, to have the abilities to be able to do that and the conditions under which to do that. The rabbis who learned the Talmud abrogated their position as Mashiach. We are Mashiach. They did not want to be HaMashiach. They didn't want to shoulder that kind of responsibility. So they went into denial, and they said, oh, the Mashiach will be someone else, sometime else, somewhere else. Those of you who have mistaken Christian ideas about what the Messiah is, what Mashiach is, are the brain and heart children of the rabbis. It's just so hard to talk about. It's just like, I feel like my soul is coming out.
To them, strive to enter in at the strait gate. For many, I say unto you, will seek to enter in, and shall not be able. When once the master of the house is risen up, and hath shut to the door, and ye begin to stand without, and to knock at the door, saying, Lord, Lord, open unto us. And he shall answer and say unto you, I know you not whence ye are. Then shall ye begin to say, We have eaten and drunk in thy presence, and thou hast taught in our streets. But he shall say, I tell you, I know you not whence ye are. Depart from me, all ye workers of iniquity. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth when ye shall see Abraham and Isaac and Jacob and all the prophets in the kingdom of God, and you yourselves thrust out. And they shall come from the east and from the west and from the north and from the south, and shall sit down in the kingdom of God. And behold, there are last which shall be first, and there are first which shall be last. The same day there came certain of the Pharisees, saying unto him, Get thee out, and depart hence, for Herod will kill thee. And he said unto them, Go ye, and tell that fox, Behold, I cast out devils, and I do cures today and tomorrow, and the third day I shall be perfected. Nevertheless I must walk today and tomorrow, and the day following. For it cannot be that a prophet perish out of Jerusalem. O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, which killest the prophets, and stonest them that are sent unto thee, how often would I have gathered thy children together, as a hen doth gather her brood under her wings, and ye would not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. And verily I say unto you, ye shall not see me, until the time come when ye shall say, Blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord.
Well, as it states in the psalm, keep me as the apple of your eye, hide me under the shadow of your wing. And Jesus had told us, those who have the Son have the Father also, but those who deny the Son, not only do they deny the Son, or the Mashiach, the Messiah, the Christ, but they also deny the Father, and they have not the Father nor the Son. And a lot of these Zionists, they like to quote, he who touches Israel touches the apple of his eye. And they seem to be worshiping the physical land of the state of Israel and, men and women over the Most High God. So there is a name above every other name, and it is Jesus Christ of Nazareth. Now, some things that you guys might find interesting here. This gentleman, facing criticism from his colleagues for a video that had surfaced of him and some of his friends as they were in a private meeting with the Pope. And yeah, so kind of made me think of the whole one world religion thing. Another example here. And, Yael Kushner and her husband Jared Kushner, aside of their obvious links to the Chabad Lubavitch movement, we also have her father, our president, who also endorses the Chabad Lubavitch movement. And I don't want people to think that I'm just sitting here picking on poor old President Trump here. So I'm going to be fair here. There is also Joe Biden, who cites the teachings from the one that they call the Rebbe, or Meckham Sneerson, and also Bernie Sanders. So once you actually start, standing on the truth or searching for the truth, a lot of times you find yourself, alone fighting the world. Now, as I was going through and getting some of the screenshots here for this, and I was on the Chabad website, or Chabad.org, I'd come across an article that said 20 things you didn't know. I believe it was 20 things you didn't know about the Talmud. It might have been more than 20. But anyway, as you can tell by the screenshot here, the Talmud was burned by the Christians, and then it goes through and it talks about it. Does anybody want to take a wild guess on what church those Talmud scriptures were burned in front of? Anybody? I mean, it should be really obvious because I just put a picture of it up on here. So, but yeah, if you guys said the Notre Dame, cathedral, that was where it happened in the 13th century. And apparently there's this is just one example of it, of a screenshot of an article about how some of these rabbinical rabbis were talking about how that was retribution for them burning their precious Talmud. But if you guys haven't looked into the definition of anti-Semitism based on House Resolution 4009, the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act of 2019, one, criticizing Zionism is considered, will be illegal. Also, talking about how, there was Jews conspired to kill Jesus and had Jesus put to death. That will be illegal. Also, that you really have to go through and read it. Some of them were pretty obvious, but then some of them, when you read it, it's like, that's odd. Stating that there was some Jewish people who aided the Nazis and killing and massacring some of their own people. That's in there too. That's a little odd, don't you think? Well, when you pair that up with the education bill, which is them pushing the 7 Noahide laws so they can institute their one world court and their one world religion, which under their Talmudist Kabbalistic teaching, right, would be off with your head for Christians. So you don't have to be the smartest creature in the world to see that, well, there's something horribly, horribly wrong in, well, the Democrats and the Republicans, all right? And as an extra added bonus here, for those of you who have never looked into the history of that six-pointed star that some people claim is the Star of David, all right, it's a kind of goes back to a talisman, is one of the things that I found on it. But you'll notice on this screenshot here, it's called the Talisman of Saturn. So yeah, I really just put that up because there's some preachers and pastors who are, either Zionist or extremely pro-Zionist, who will talk about the five-pointed star or the pentagram all day long, but they will not talk about that hexagram. And I've seen a few videos where they talked about Saturn and the link to the occult and some of the other stuff going on, but they don't bring this up. Now that's actually, if I'm correct, or if my memory serves me correct, that's actually one of the lesser keys of Solomon, or might be a greater key of Solomon. It's something to do with witchcraft. But on one side it's a five-pointed star, and on the opposite side it's a six-pointed star. So anyway, to all my brothers and sisters in the faith, keep your armor buckled, stay in the Word, and walk with Jesus, because we are definitely in for some rough times. Much love and God bless.